Hi there, Ashley Thompson. This is one of my first video blogs related to sexual health. So what I'm here today to talk about is speaking at the Parma City Schools School Board hearing last week. So I guess this really started back in January, meeting with the other Ohio advocates and talking with one of our Ohio advocates that's been working in the Parma City Schools to advocate for comprehensive sexual health. So what I suggested is that because one of the contentions of the school board in implementing comprehensive sex ed is they felt that that type of sexual health education wouldn't be accepted by parents. So I kind of put my advocacy hat on and my grad school hat on and said, let's do a focus group of parents to see what do they really think about sexual health education. So that kind of got the ball rolling in January, and myself and two other Ohio advocates worked together. And a thing I loved about this project was that you had someone in high school, someone in undergraduate school, and grad school all working together on this project. So it was kind of this cool not only youth advocacy piece, but integration of different different kind of people coming from different backgrounds. So to me that was kind of cool. So anyways, we started by recruiting parents. So me and Danny, the high school student, really worked to recruit parents. We handed out tons of flyers, hung them in different public locations, libraries, things like that. And on the other side, me and Madeline were working to get the questions ready and other things ready for the focus group. So when the focus group happened, I facilitated and Madeline co-facilitated, which again was kind of this cool way to not only be working on advocacy, but also be building skills related to public health and research. So it was a really great experience for the both of us to do that. And after the focus group, myself and Madeline went through, also with help from another advocate in Cincinnati doing our transcript. We took the transcript of the recording of the focus group, coded the information, looked for main themes, and kind of came up with a final report. So this kind of leads up to the school board meeting that I spoke at. And I've always known sexual health to be a controversial issue, but I don't know of anything in my experience with testifying at the State House and lobbying and all these other experiences had prepared me for a school board meeting. It led me to the conclusion that the more local the form of government, kind of the more volatile it can be. I don't know if volatile is the right word, but things were a little tense. Things were a little crazy. So I came to the school board meeting, and you could tell it was kind of tense, and Danny gave his statement, and then afterwards there were two other gentlemen from, I don't even know if they were from the community or really who they were with, but they were kind of really hostile, swearing, just very, very strange. So at that point I'm sitting there just kind of thinking, what have I got myself into? I felt like I was going up before, I don't know, what do they call it, where you stand up, firing, whatever, I don't know. The point is, I felt pretty tense. So I go up there, and, I have my little statement, and I'm reading it off, and there's a video online I'll post with this blog as well, of me actually reading my statement, and I kind of switched things up to be more appropriate in what was happening. But I really felt like myself and Danny kind of seemed like the only people who kind of had their stuff together. We knew what we were talking about, we were passionate, and we had information from the community to back us up, which was really great. And kind of the other thing I really noticed was that in this meeting, it wasn't really it's a community meeting, school board meeting, but it wasn't really the community who was speaking. You had all these people that came, miles and miles away from this other organization specifically targeting our issue to stand in opposition. So it was kind of disingenuous, I think, to say that the community was voicing an opinion one way or the other when really the community wasn't there. Parents weren't in the room. I mean, they were in the room, but they weren't speaking up. The people speaking up were people outside of the community. And the other thing I really noticed was, the school board's willingness to address this issue. As much as I'm an advocate for these issues, I understand they're difficult, and I understand they're not really fun to talk about. but I could definitely sense from the school board, specifically the superintendent, there was a willingness to at least have this conversation, which makes a lot of people uncomfortable. So when anyone shows that willingness to come to the table, I see that as really inviting. And so I guess my overall feeling about the whole experience was that to really address these issues within schools that impact young people, there needs to be more interaction between young people who are sitting in the classrooms getting, the sexual health education, and their parents, and then the school district. You're never going to not have outside organizations coming in trying to impact the way things are happening in a negative or a positive way. But really, it does come down to the community. And what I found with parents is they were very reasonable about sexual health. Most parents don't want to think about their children having sex the same way I'm sure children don't like to think about their parents having sex, but they acknowledge that it's happening and that young people need information. So I guess that's kind of my takeaway of that. But yeah, crazy experience. I'm telling you, if you haven't testified at a school board meeting about sex ed of all things, I highly recommend it. Once you've done that, you've really done it all. So I guess that's the conclusion of my report back, and I hope to be doing more video blogs on sexual health in Ohio and specifically Northeast Ohio. Thanks!